We have Jailton Almeida versus Curtis Blaydes. Curtis Blaydes, 17-4. He's 3-2 in his last five. He's coming off of that KO loss to Sergey Pavlovich. Jailton Almeida, 20-2, 5-0 in his last five. He's actually coming off a decision victory over Derek Lewis. Looking at the odds for this fight right now, we have Curtis Blaydes as a minus 120 favorite on Bet Online. Opened up at plus 160 and then was actually instantly bet to minus 130 or 120 or so. So, yeah, interesting line movement there. Alex, what do you think about this feature prelim between two heavyweights, Blaydes versus Almeida here?
Uh, Pretty exciting fight actually. I'm looking forward to this one. I think obviously we know about Curtis Blaydes, his wrestling background. But I think there are two questions that we kind of need to ask. The first one is, can Curtis Blaydes stuff jail times takedowns? And the second one is, if Curtis Blaydes does stuff his takedowns, does jail time offer anything on the feet? So, just from doing it's hard to kind of get that answer from doing the tape study on gelatin, just because anyone he's fought, he's been able to uh pretty easily get the opponent to the ground. Very impressive in his last fight against Derek Lewis, just so relentless with the way he's able to shoot takedowns, grab a hold of your leg, and bring Derek Lewis down. Um, but I think I agree with the line movement. If I'm probably going to pick Curtis Blaydes for a couple reasons. I think the first one is, I don't think Jail Time has fought anyone as athletic as Curtis Blaydes at heavyweight. And the second, I think, is, I don't think Jailton Almeida is kind of like a true heavyweight. Uh, Obviously, his measurables in terms of like the height and reach match up, but the way his body fills out, he's not as heavy as those heavyweights, and so I feel like he might have some trouble bringing down a fighter like Curtis Blaydes, who's huge and has a wrestling background. So yeah, my pick is going to be Curtis Blaydes. I don't know if I'm going to have a play yet, but really, really excited for this fight.
Yeah, to have this fight be a feature prelim, I think it's a godsend for viewers. It's a very good. It's gonna be a really good fight. Especially if you enjoy, grappling exchanges. I think there's gonna be a lot of grappling here. Blades, I think he's a good heavyweight wrestler. He's been relying more on his hands in recent years. Strong wrestler who shoots for legit takedowns. He's able to time his entries pretty well. This is an interesting fact that I saw. I mean, he's actually not landed a takedown since 2021. So he's been actually using a lot more striking now. That could be matchup kind of dependent, right? But that is a fact that he hasn't landed a takedown since 2021. He does have power in his hands, good KO capabilities. He's also shown to be a bit chinny and indecisive in his game plan. He's been KO 4 times in the UFC, albeit all to high level, heavyweight kind of strikers. I think that Almeida is a good high level grappler who has just dominated the heavyweight division with his grappling pace and slick sub skills. He used to be a light heavyweight and moved up to heavyweight. And I think that he's really, at least with his opponents thus far, shown that there has been a gap in terms of a grappling skill set talent from the light heavyweight to heavyweight. We saw what John Jones did to a much larger extent in that championship matchup. He just showed that there is just a higher level of grappling that is in the lighter divisions compared to the heavyweight division overall. Solid takedowns. I think he has good control on the ground. He's able to attack with ground and pound, goes for the sub. I think that one of his best attributes is this guy has a really good motor, and I think that goes back to him being a light heavyweight, right? He has a really good motor, good cardio, We saw what he did to Derek Lewis for 5 rounds. That's 25 minutes. He just nonstop was grappling. He can be really basic on the feet, though. I mean, I really feel like this guy just has some basic punches and like one front kick that he uses to just transition to his takedown attempt. He's done that like for all of his fights, and so far it's worked. But this will be his first, I think, real test at heavyweight. I will lean towards saying that Almeida will be able to just expose Blaydes' grappling game. I think that Blaydes is a good offensive wrestler. However, I don't know if he's actually been tested by another high level grappler himself throughout his career. I do think that Blaydes has just also shown less of a willingness to grapple and just rely more on his hands to win fights in the last few years. So I'm going to pick Almeida to show him the grappling and the pace. I actually think Jailton inside the distance is not bad play, but I mean, if you can get plus odds on Jailton, right now he's plus 100. I would consider that decent. This will be a tough fight, but I think Jailton's going to do it. I think he's going to be able to take down Blaydes as he shoots for those takedowns, and it's just going to be relentless over and over again. So, yeah, give me Jailton at plus odds for a potential dog play here.